Listen to the show and peep what these dudes bring. If you didn't know, it's an orange and blue thing. Hope to win the championship and a few rings.
We're talking baseball.
It's an orange and blue thing. Walk off if the game's tied like shoestrings. It's a Mets podcast, orange and blue thing. Beat the other team with defense and a few swings. LFGM, it's an orange and blue thing.
What's up, Mets fans? Back at you Monday morning, a rainy Monday morning here from the Seven Lions headquarters on Long Island, which we thought was going to like wash away to shore this weekend.
What a bullshit hurricane. Oh my God, so dramatic.
Well, you know, they got to be, if they're not dramatic, then everyone says, oh, hey, why weren't we warned?
True,
like Sandy didn't seem like it was going to be that big of a deal, then obviously it was.
I'd rather be well prepared than underprepared, I guess.
Well, it freaked me out, so I had to fly home early from California.
I know.
Oh my God.
I still think your flight Sunday would have gotten canceled anyway.
No, it would have been fine.
Last
night at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it was like
you had it later in the day? I thought it was in the morning.
Well, no, if you think of everything's like 3 hours time change.
That's true.
Yeah, for those who don't know or those that even care, I was in California for like 27 hours or something like that.
You need to care because Darren really wants to talk about his first class experience on an airplane.
I felt very bougie. Well, also, you know, people are like, oh, what did they say? Act like you've been there before?
Yes.
I did not. I was taking pictures of my seat.
As you should, because who knows when you'll be back there again.
Probably never. Because, like, you know, the way it worked out was, as you know, Kelly had to back out like 20. Her bag was packed. I'm like, are you getting ready? Come on, we're leaving. We're going to the airport. And we're watching News 12, and Rich Hoffman's freaking us out about the weather coming and, you know, preparing and so on and so forth. And she's nervous as it is when we leave Amelia behind. Yeah. Not that she's home alone by any means, but like, you know, she was going to be home with my stepmother, and I'm sure she would have been fine. But when we hear
your
hurricane,
mother-in-law.
Oh, I said stepmother? Oh my God. Sorry, Kath. My mother-in-law
you also just made you and Kelly siblings, I think.
That's weird.
That was a weird,
very strange
mother-in-law.
So anyway, Amelia would have been fine, but then we're thinking like, all right, what if we lose power? What if some trees fall down in the yard? Like, we were thinking the worst. So Kelly's like, I'm going to stay home. Yeah. I don't blame you. So we try to cancel her flight. Mm-hmm. How long do you think the phone said, like when you call and say, hey, how many minutes to wait on Friday to cancel?
The weekend before a hurricane.
The day, like 20 minutes before I was leaving the house.
Hours.
210 minutes is what JetBlue said that she would have had to wait on the phone to cancel the flight, which would have been past the time that it took off. So I'm freaking out, like thinking, you know, once a flight takes off, then we're asked out on this money. Yeah. So I'm at the airport trying to figure it out. The help desk was no help at all.
Of course.
So it worked out where I did get the credit back for her flight.
Oh, okay.
So when I was trying to change my flight, I used that credit to then
just make it.
Yeah. So it was it kind of worked out, but I'm sitting there in the seat on Saturday night because my flight home. I got there.
Was it a red eye?
Yeah, it left at 9 p.m., which was midnight here.
Yes,
so I guess. Yeah. So I'm sitting there in the seat because you get to board first, but then everyone kind of walks by, so they look at you as like, I do it too.
I do too. I look them up and down. I'm like,
always checked out the
what is
people
your
in first
occupation?
class.
How did you get
but
here?
I'm seeing Mets fans come on, and they're probably like, oh, this like this one guy's like, Darren. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? And he's like.
Of course you're in first
this
class.
guy's first
That's why
class.
your t-shirts are so expensive.
Yeah. So anyway, did I show you a photo? The seat
it's
actually
a bed,
it laid down completely.
That's
and I have a problem sleeping on a plane.
I can't sleep on a plane. I try, but I can't sleep well.
My eyes were closed, so it was almost like, you know, like you're kind of sleeping, but you're not really sleeping. You're up. I don't know what they call that. You're not a REM sleep, whatever it is.
No.
So I'm laying there, and they give you a menu, all of things I couldn't eat. It was like meat and cheese and, you know, whatever. So, but you could have eaten.
Right.
But they call them the mint seats. So if anyone cares, look up mint seats in JetBlue. They did have a mint cocktail, like a signature cocktail. I was like, I had 2 of those. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to eat. Like, stewardess lady.
You have to have the mint.
I appreciate the offer,
cocktail.
But bring me a couple of those mints. So Coors Light was not available on the flight, unfortunately. So I had some mint.
So you didn't get to see the Mets win, but
no, but of course they win yesterday, right?
I know, but you won.
But you know, you and I were talking about this, and shout out to all the Mets fans that went and the Dodger fans that were very nice to us.
Good.
We were nervous that this was going to get rough.
Yeah.
Not that we're a rough crew. You know, occasionally there are some bad apples in any bunch, and you know, I'm not saying we're saints by any means, but you know, 116 outings in, there's never been like this brawl. Mets first, the home team. You know, it doesn't happen.
Right.
but we were nervous about, hey, Dodgers fans
they're
are known
nuts.
to like instigate a little bit more. And
Yeah.
even though they do it like in Philly, you remember that guy came down with his face painted on purpose?
Yes.
Like,
but that was like in good fun almost.
But it's
like,
hey, dude, like we have every seat up here. Why are you here?
Yeah.
We came to, put on a show.
Right.
You know, hey, look at my face paint. Like, hey, good for you, dude. So we were expecting that was going to be an issue in LA.
Mm-hmm.
But when the game got changed to 1:00, we were like, all right, that's kind of a good thing. People aren't spending the day in LA downtown or whatever, and then coming to the ballpark and
I think it also helped that our egos had been knocked the hell down a few pegs from like the time we were in Philly to now. I think we all went in there being like, okay, we need to just like get in and get out, stay quiet.
Well, not only that, like I put up a little blurb the morning of the game, like, hey,
I saw that.
This is an accomplishment. We're checking off our final NL ballpark,
and
then it was like, P.S. Don't be a knucklehead. They're 21 games over 500, and someone quickly fixed it in the comments, like they're actually 31 games over 500. Which is nuts.
Shit.
Imagine being 31 games over 500. What that must feel like.
Have they ever been that in my lifetime? Probably not.
Well, not in your lifetime.
No.
But
that's why I said lifetime.
They went 108. They won 108 games in 86.
Yeah.
But it's funny, not funny, but a couple years ago the Mets won 90 games.
I know.
But it's hard to remember because like the season ended on a high note with Dom Smith walking off, but like the Mets didn't do shit. They didn't go to the playoffs.
Yep.
Or last year with the 60 game shortened season. But I did title this show, So You're Saying There's a Chance. And I wrote it this morning on Twitter, and Julia quote tweeted it and said, I want to be
perfectly clear. I am not saying that. There is not a chance. Of course, like statistically, there is a chance, but I don't see.
There are 38 games left, Julia.
I will be shocked. It's honestly got to the point. Even when they were winning yesterday, I didn't even want to watch the game.
Yesterday was exciting. Like Stu came over, we're hanging out for our tropical storm party. It was very exciting.
I saw you guys having that. Katie came over. You were watching some scary movies, hurricane party, whatever. But like, I was just like, I'd rather watch movies. Yeah, I know the Mets are winning, but I'm just like so checked out.
Right.
I'm like, they're winning, great, but like then they're gonna go lose 5 games in a row tomorrow. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
How about your boy Trick being on the other team?
Love
now?
Trick. Well, Trick is
Patrick Mazika, for those who don't know.
Trick is the glue holding this team together, according to Marcus Stroman. He's apparently stepped up in a big way for him. So
yeah.
Love Trick. But that's about it.
Oh wait, Trick. I was thinking about Mazika.
Yeah, Patrick Mazika.
But who's on the Dodge? Oh, Billy McKinney. I'm sorry. Billy McKinney is now a Dodger.
Yeah, no, that's not my guy.
I totally effed that up.
That is not my guy.
No, that's not your dude.
Patrick Mazika.
So anyway, back to the just quickly on the whole JetBlue thing. I got like the thing in an email about the survey, and I was hoping like, because you know how we send out reviews and stuff, there would be something on there be like, fill this out and maybe you get a free Mint flight in the future. They didn't do that, but that would be great. Be great marketing. Some people chiming in here in the comments. Again, we are live. This is a live show. I forgot. I feel like we're just kind of catching up on the weekend, which is fun. I like that. And people seem to like that too, because
just like they're eavesdropping on our private conversations.
Right. Well, not all of them, but a good amount of them. This is kind of just hanging out, and that's kind of what we do here.
Yeah.
We try to, sometimes.
Once in a blue moon.
Once in a while, we'll talk about the Mets, but otherwise, it's like First Class and so on and so forth. Julia feeding feral cats.
Oh, what a journey.
For some reason.
You know what? Cats got to eat. I respect it. Someone pays me to do it. I'm going to do it. So,
but we talked about this probably either on the show or off the show.
Yes.
I occasionally entertain the idea about getting a dog, and then weather like this happens, and I'm like, absolutely not.
No, I will. I would just hire,
like, honestly, we would get a dog, and I would just be like, Julia, come to my house and walk the dog.
I'm not going outside in the rain. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Small dogs are like a different species from big dogs. They are so much easier to take care of. They don't have to walk with wet paws on your floor. You can literally pick them up and hold them and dry them, and they can be dry before they ever touch the ground. Sometimes.
Especially now that Amelia's older and she's like, we tell her like, hey, go brush your teeth, go do this. And she's good. Like, I'm not starting over with a puppy. Absolutely not. And no matter, and dads know, everyone knows in the comments that their kids or their wives or someone always promises, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to do. They're not.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to do it.
Well, that's why I exist. I exist for all of the unhappy dads who thought that their kids and wives were going to take care of the dogs and were just disappointed. That's why I'm here.
So last week we talked about the odds, the FanGraphs odds to make the playoffs, which was 17.5% last week, which we're like, oh, wow, that's horrible.
Yeah.
What do you think it is now?
Single digits has to be.
Well, what do you think? Tell me what you think. It was 17.5. What is it after? They just went 2 and 8 versus the first 10. We ever said how important this 13 games was. They went 2 and 8.
I'm gonna say like 4%.
5.3% chance to make the playoffs right now. They were about like 80% last month. And we basically flip-flopped with the Braves. Now the Braves are like 80%. And we're now 5.3%. But they are 61 and 63, third place in the East, 2 behind Philly and 7 behind the Atlanta Braves. I put this tweet up last night, which did get a decent amount of traction here on the internet. The Mets' next 17 games. 3 versus San Francisco, who, let's remember, when they went to San Fran last weekend, they lost 2 of those games in extra innings. They weren't really out of a lot of these games.
But they didn't win them.
They did not win. This is not horseshoes. I'm not trying to make light of it and say, oh, but, they battled. But let's be honest, they did.
Yes.
They weren't completely blown out in any of these games.
It's possible they could win these upcoming games. Sure.
It is. But even like I was watching from the bar on Friday. Every day is all confusing now. Friday night when I got there, I didn't really want to go to the game that night. So I did, as much as I could at the hotel. After I checked in, I went to a local bar, sat next to some dude. I'm kind of all over the place here, but not a baseball fan. He was in town for work, I think.
Okay.
And we started talking, and people started coming in and be like, hey, what's up, Darren? Like random strangers. He's like, how do these people know you? I was like, oh, we're all here. We're a group of Mets fans, whatever. Yeah. We're going to the game tomorrow. So we're watching that game. It's a quick game on Friday night.
Yeah.
They were in that game, JD Davis, down the middle, didn't swing. Jeff McNeil, who he was right, it was outside. He freaked out, but you can't take that. Yeah. You can't take that pitch and bases and a full count.
Yeah.
But they were in these games, so I am convincing myself that they will win at least 2 of 3 against the Giants this week at home, because the Mets play great at home. They've been playing obviously much better at home than the road.
I would just personally rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed.
Right, I get you. I hear you, but I'm just
2 different approaches.
I'm thinking this week 2 of 3. At home against the Giants. So I put this up last night, and either people like it because they want to then come back and tell me that I'm an asshole, or they agree with it. But it got over 1,000 likes. So I put up the little GIF from Dumb and Dumber of you're telling me there's a chance, and they have 3 versus San Francisco. Then the Nats come to town this weekend, who anyone should beat.
Yes.
But again, this is the Mets, so it doesn't always happen. But 3 versus San Fran, 3 versus the Nationals. Then the Marlins come in for 3, who we know are always a thorn on our side. 5 at Nationals. They have a makeup game there. Then 3 versus Miami. So 17 straight games coming up. Again, today is an off day, but why can't they go?
Well, do you know who the Phillies and Braves are playing during the same stretch?
I do know who the Phillies and Braves are playing.
Okay.
I don't know who the Phillies are playing. I'm just gonna just factor in that they're not gonna be a factor.
Sure.
But the Braves' opponents tonight, they're playing the Yankees.
Okay.
So Craig Carton, I don't know if you're a fan. Craig Carton started this thing before he went to the Clink, and he was on the Fan years ago with Boomer, and it was Mets fans for Yankees.
Okay.
Because he's a flip-flop. I understand what he does as part of his shtick.
Yeah.
But he does Mets fans for Yankees. That's like a thing.
Yeah.
So I am all on board with Mets fans for Yankees for the next 2 days.
Okay.
So I am cheering for the Yankees tonight.
I don't really give a fuck about the Yankees.
I don't,
honestly.
but I do care if the Braves lose.
Right. Of course. If they're ever playing an NL East opponent, I'm rooting for the Yankees. Yeah.
I mean, the Subway Series is what it is. It's cool. It's fun. Like it's cool to like go back and forth and do, cheer with your fans.
Sure.
Against theirs or whatever. But as far as what I care more about, obviously it's way more important for the Braves to lose or the Mets to win.
100%.
And the Yankees, who cares?
Yeah.
So Yankees fans tonight, we're with you, or I'm with you. I can't speak for everyone because people hate when I do that. I'm not speaking for anyone else. I'm not speaking for Julia. Or Mets
no, you can
fans
speak
anywhere.
for me. I'm on board with this.
All right, cool. So Mets fans for Yankees tonight and tomorrow. It's only a 2-game set. Then the Braves are playing the Giants.
Okay.
Then the Braves are playing the Dodgers. So we're basically flip-flopping. They just got easy buckets with the Orioles and the Nationals. Like that's, the Braves are like 9-1. I understand.
Okay.
I am talking myself into believing the Mets will now do that in return. The season will come down to the last week of the season. This season will come down to the last week of the year for the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves.
I want you to
The Phillies
be
do have a
right.
pretty much of a cakewalk, though.
I know.
The Phillies are playing like the Cubs and the Rockies, a bunch of teams that aren't playing as well.
Right.
So we'll see.
I don't
know. Let me know in the comments what you think, guys. I don't like being
a Debbie Downer. I don't like talking down on the team. I'm just mentally, I have checked out. They kind of drained me the past couple weeks where I'm just like, give me a reason to care and I'll start caring, but I'm not in the talk myself into it phase anymore. I've
been
pushed out. Yeah,
So
you're still there.
And
that's
this isn't
fine.
shtick.
No. This is who you are.
Because we talked about it last week and like what's going on in this world, which is not getting any better.
Right.
Whether it be natural disasters and, people like we got it easy. Let's we can laugh about it like, oh, wow, what hurricane? But look up Tennessee.
I know.
Tennessee, not to bring everything full circle back to motocross, but the track, you're laughing, but the track in the town where Loretta Lynn lives is gone.
No.
They just had the national like last week. It's completely under. I'm sure once the level subsides, they could fix it. But the track is pretty much toast.
Wow.
Like the river over there, I think there's like 22 confirmed fatalities already in that county. It's crazy. So like we make light of.
Yes,
that sucks. But there's like big
yeah.
things. No, I'm saying like in general, like life.
Yeah.
Like look at what's going on in Afghanistan. Like so much crazy stuff in the world. So if I can convince myself the Mets are going to beat the Giants this week, I'm okay with that.
I did see one tweet and it was kind of amazing. It was something like, cannot believe the Taliban is having a better month than the Mets, but where's the lie?
Who put that up?
I don't know, but it's some verified account.
But see, you know what? It's the kind of thing too. It's like depends on who puts it up because like if it's not a parody account, but like certain people that write stuff, like let's say someone who's taken more serious writes that, then they get fucking crushed.
It was like a verified some sort of writer or something. I don't know who it was.
You know what I mean? I'm saying the way that jokes are taken now. It's like someone will get canceled for that, and then it depends if it came from someone else. Right. It's okay.
But I mean, whatever. It is true. The Mets have not had a great successful month in accomplishing their goals.
Absolutely not.
So
let's talk about goals, and that would be to have your number retired by a team. So this Saturday, Jerry Koosman's number 36 will be retired. A year later, it was supposed to be last year. We know what happened. It got pushed to this year. Some tickets are left with us, and there's like 15 tickets left, which I understand why people aren't banging the doors down to purchase tickets right now. But I really was surprised when it was a day of, a monumental day for the Mets history that more fans wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah.
We talked about it with the Hall of Fame induction of Ron and Matlack and Alfonso that I didn't think that the Mets did a very good job of promoting that.
Agreed.
And maybe that is why the place wasn't really as filled to capacity. And even Howie Rose was talking about it. A bunch of people were talking about it.
Right.
And, fans get confused when I'm sometimes critical of the team because they think that I'm supposed to be one way or the other. But, I don't think they did a great job, especially with how hard they're pushing black jerseys, which the Mets haven't won yet wearing the black jerseys. If you haven't noticed, maybe they will this Friday.
Yep.
But Saturday, I felt like more fans would want to be there. Also, take into consideration, you never saw him play.
Right.
I never saw him play. A lot of the fans that go to the games now weren't Jerry Koosman fans.
Sure.
So how many of the old timers or, no offense to the people who are more advanced age than mine.
No, but that's what I think they need. They need to appeal to them more somehow and make
Piazza was we loved it because Piazza was relevant.
Yeah.
Not relevant, but more in
current.
His career didn't end as many years ago.
Right. I think they need to make it more of obviously, it's a jersey retirement ceremony. It should be all about Jerry Koosman, but they have to somehow, they should be marketing to the people who watched him play. And I feel like posting it on Twitter, posting it on Instagram, the people who watched him, most of them, obviously some of those people know how to use Twitter and Instagram, and that's wonderful. But I think it's a harder demographic to reach the way marketing is done these days.
Right.
So.
No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a photo of it. They are giving away a bobblehead on Saturday, and I know fans do, usually get pretty excited about bobbleheads. We just released ours today. Our Mr. Met one went out an hour and 15 minutes ago.
Amazing.
And I know we're kind of doing it differently than I'm all over the board here.
It's fine.
But we're doing it differently than a lot of other brands like Foco does. They usually come out with what their number is going to be, the quantity before they sell it, which we're kind of doing opposite because we're not in the bobblehead game.
Right.
So I don't want to put up like 144 and then have all people pissed that they missed out.
Yeah.
So the way we're running it, so if you're watching this now and you didn't order yours yet, you still have a couple hours at least. We're putting it up with no cap in the beginning. So anyone who really wants one, if they listen to us and say be on time, you're going to get one.
Okay.
And then we're going to see what the numbers are, after the show's over
and
today.
Then order accordingly.
And then order a little bit extra.
Okay.
So that's what we did with the Murphy one. There's like 20 left or 30 left of the Murphy one. So
Did you get one to the Murphys? I know they want.
No, I will soon.
Okay.
I'm going to email them or mail it to them. We don't have them. We're basically working off of like a sample that we're photographed.
Gotcha.
But so if you didn't order your Mr. Met bullpen cart bobblehead yet, you have some time. Well, if you're listening to this as a replay, maybe you don't. But if you're watching this live and you want to go do that later, you can, probably until like 1 o'clock this afternoon or so. Anyway, so that's the story with that. But the bobblehead for Koosman, I think that will bring people out at least the first 12,000. Or I don't know how many people can get it.
Yeah.
If you guys know in the comments how many they're giving out on Saturday,
fact checkers,
we will give you a shout out here. So yeah, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. If you want some free Mets stuff this week, I don't know if we're getting a package from the Mets, but if not, then we'll put something together for you from here, either a gift card to the Seven Lines website or something else. But we will we will let you know who last week's winners were in a little bit. We had the Alonso bobblehead and the comic book. You get to choose one or the other. And the way you get involved in the free stuff each week is just simply share the show. So if you're watching on Facebook,
post it on your wall.
Post it on your wall. If you're watching on Twitter, hit the little retweet button. If you're watching on YouTube right now, go and do one of those things later.
Fact checkers are saying 25K.
25,000. Shout out to Dave and also Gianna, some other people in the comments here. Randy, Armando. Everyone knows 25,000 except us somehow. So
I think that's just like the standard of what it usually. I don't know. I could have made that up.
I don't know.
Whatever.
It's weird with
25,000.
25,000 is still more than half the ballpark.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So get there early. We're going to be tailgating. So if you want to come sit with us, though, back full circle of how I started this conversation was more people I thought would have bought the tickets.
Yeah.
I think there's like 18 tickets left. So if you want to go on Saturday, you don't have plans, check the weather. I think it's going to be a nice day. Definitely better than today.
Is it what time is the game?
7 p.m.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that the ceremonies will start like an hour early or 45 minutes early, whatever it is.
I might actually be able to make that now. I was supposed to have dogs this weekend. They got canceled.
There you go. So Mets.com/the 7 Line Army if you want to pick up a ticket. 9/11 obviously sold out as we knew it would. And then the last game that we have to go up will be the final regular season home game. It's not the final game of the year because guess where they're going after that? Atlanta. This season will come down to the last week of the year.
Okay.
It will.
Okay.
It will.
Okay.
I'm not going to Atlanta.
No.
I have a motocross race.
Oh, that's why.
The Kawasaki Race of Champions.
All right. Let's just slip that in there real quick.
One of the
Race
year.
of Champions.
Yeah, I mean, it's anyone can enter.
It's no big deal.
Anyone can enter,
but
though,
it's a really big deal.
But if you win, it's a pretty big deal. I hear the track's closing. The track in Jersey, I hear, is closing.
So is this like the final?
They've been open for 45 years.
Wow.
And they're talking about closing it. It's been in the works for a couple of years. Land is just so expensive now, and they make way more money on land, using it for something else than having a track to use like once a week or once a month. So that's the story in Jersey. So if you win this one, you can be like the last champion before they close the track.
So you're playing for a lot here.
Oh my God. You know what I'm doing on Labor Day weekend?
What?
I'm going back to the 25 class.
No.
I'm going down. I'm bringing myself down 15 years.
Wow. You're with people my age.
Yeah, there you go. So I usually race 2 classes. I made a decision yesterday or a couple of days ago. I'm going to race 3 classes on the same day, which is 6 races. It's a lot.
I will be, not that I don't have faith in you, but I will think it's so cool.
If I come back with
race.
I'm not going to win that race.
You might.
No, I'm not.
Listen, if you think the Mets have a chance of winning the division, you have to think you have a chance of winning this race.
I'll win. If I get a top 5 in 25, 30, and 40, I'll be ecstatic.
Okay.
Just top 5.
Let's go.
Which I have a chance.
I think you got it.
That's the 5th, September 5th.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. And if anyone cares about that, I don't think you do, but
I care big time. And I know some fact checkers do too.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. So I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Dugout Mugs, because did you hear what they're doing?
No.
They are giving away free Mets tickets.
No.
Free Mets tickets. They give away
They're
free stuff.
stepping it up.
But think about this. They give away like the 40% off on their metal bat mugs, which are phenomenal. If you guys haven't picked that up yet, go to dugoutmugs.com/metal. I got mine already. No, big deal, but go on the website and pick that up. But they've been giving away the knob shots. They've been giving discounts every week to Mets fans for over a year now. Now they're giving away free Mets tickets.
They're so generous.
It's awesome.
It's amazing.
They're freaking great. So if you don't know about Dugout Mugs yet, I don't know where you've been, but they take the top of a baseball bat, cut it, and turn it into a mug. 12-ounce mug. They also have the metal ones. They have the knob shots. They have the bottle openers. They got the wine ones. They got you hooked up. But go to their website and check it all out. They got the MLB license, the MLBPA license, the Cooperstown license, all made in Florida. We love them. You can get your photos engraved on the side. Anything that you can possibly think of, they could probably do for you on a mug. They make great gifts as well. But if you guys want free Mets tickets, which how could you not?
Awesome.
All you have to do is text the word Mets to 85311.
85311.
So text them right now.
Do it right now. Well,
actually, if you're watching on your phone, do it later. Make yourself a note or tell like your phone
write
or your
it
watch.
down.
Write it down. Text the word Mets to 85311, and they are giving away 2 free Mets tickets. But the way they're going to work it is they're going to work with you on the date.
Ooh.
So let's say you win, and they're like, "Oh, the tickets are for Friday, and you can't go to Friday."
No, it's when do you want to go?
When do you want to go? They're going to buy the tickets, and they'll figure it out.
Awesome.
They probably won't get you 9/11 tickets.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game.
But if you want free Mets tickets to another game
of your choosing,
they'll work with you on the date. I'm sure they won't put you like in the dugout, but they'll probably be pretty good seats.
So what is that number again?
85311. Text the word Mets. Very easy. Thank you so much to Dugout Mugs. The deadline is September 8th, and the announcement will be on September 10th. So awesome. I'm sure sometime after the 10th, you can pick a game and go to the game. So shout out to them for that. That's freaking awesome.
Love it.
I was disappointed that they didn't have Coors Light at Dodger Stadium.
They didn't?
No.
Isn't it the official beer of...
It's the Mets beer.
Oh, it's just the Mets? I thought that was all Major League Baseball.
They had, you ever have a Michelada? It's like a beer Bloody Mary.
Ooh.
So
that sounds something like I would.
You wouldn't like that?
Not want.
If you go to any Mexican restaurant, you can order pretty much like any of their Mexican beers as a Michelada. I don't think you'd want to do it with a Coors Light. Although why not? Because Coors Light's delicious.
Coors Light's amazing.
The Michelada, like when I got to the game early on Saturday, there was nothing to do. There was no pre-gaming. There was, I don't know. There was like, I understand once I got. Let me backtrack. You're like, there's no place to go. There's no pre-gaming. Like, how is that possible?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just go someplace somewhere nearby and go to the game? The bars are small. Even the ones in downtown LA were like tiny.
Yeah.
Really little bars. They had like a Yard House, which
I
is
feel like
everything
is supposed to be so exclusive in LA that it's like they don't want big things.
Well, it wasn't like the bougie area.
Yeah.
I was in downtown.
But still,
downtown LA. But still, either way.
Yeah.
So I get to the game. I took an Uber, and there was like one Uber drop-off spot. So there's a bunch of other people that were going to the outing, orange shirts and everything. We walk in together, and I checked the place out. But when I went to go pick up a beer, the Michelada is sold separately. So you buy your beer, you pick beer you want out of the cooler, and then the Michelada is basically, it's like a Bloody Mary mix that you would then pour your beer into, which might sound disgusting, but it's incredible.
Okay.
So I get my Michelada, I'm walking around talking to people, so on and so forth. And, I was disappointed with the no Coors Light, but I made do with what I had.
You have to.
But I'm surprised. You have to at least try it once.
I don't know if I'll like that. I mean, I'll try
you gotta sip,
but I won't.
A sip of that.
All right, I'll try it.
All right, well, give it a shot. If you guys want to get involved in picking up your Coors Lights, we have our own fancy landing page here now. Let me type it in so I don't screw it up. I should have this prepared. CoorsLight.com/OABT, which you can then do on your own, after the show, of course.
After the show.
You buy your beer online, CoorsLight.com/OABT. All you have to do is type in your zip code here on the bottom or in the middle, and it hits a search button, and it lets you know where you can pick up your beers or have them delivered. So down here, if you see the options are Drizzly, Saucy, and Instacart, depending on where you live, it might even change. This one also says minibar. And then I know if you use Instacart, your first delivery is free. So definitely step up and pick up your beers on CoorsLight.com/OABT. Maybe make a Michelada out of it. Maybe have it for a victory beer when you're racing 3 times in one day.
Against 25-years.
Against 25-years. What did you call it again? I always forget. I got to write it down.
The youths?
No. What we called the beer. I was like, not.
Coors Light for competition light.
Competition light. All right.
That's going to be like competition heavy, no?
Competition heavy. Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I used to race it last year, and I used to do pretty decent.
Okay.
So we'll see.
25,
30, 40. Competition light, Coors Light. Always remember to celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be fun. Well, it's more so it's a challenge to race 6 times in one day. So we'll see. I don't know.
Good for you.
Yeah, thanks. So the U.S. Open is coming to town, which we know is kind of a mess when it comes to parking and traffic and all that stuff. So it starts August 30th and ends on September 12th. So the reason I'm bringing this up is 9/11, I'm sure, is going to be a traffic nightmare in that area.
Maybe take the train to that game.
Take the train. Oh, they were supposed to that. Take the train to the game. So take the train to the game, maybe.
They encourage the use of mass transit.
But that's why we moved our tailgate spot years ago.
Yeah.
Because it ended up landing on the weekend of the U.S. Open.
I remember that.
So when we moved over to the marina a lot, people were like, "Oh, it's so much further." And people say that the people who take the train don't like it.
Yeah.
Because then they got to walk.
Right.
It was so convenient to take the train,
Just
walk down the stairs,
there.
and you're at the tailgate.
But you know what? I kind of like it in a way because then I feel like I'm walking off my alcohol. I'm walking off my food. I kind of feel better by the time I get into the stadium. It's a nice little detox from the tailgate to get ready for a baseball game.
I like it. Just like waterfront.
Yeah, the ambiance is kind of nice.
Waterfront tailgating, especially
Yeah.
like those 4 o'clock or 1 o'clock starts, and you get back to the lot if you're going to post
like
game.
sunset.
They call it reverse tailgate.
Yeah.
If the sun's going down,
Pretty.
over the water. Which remember when Shu swam in that?
Disgusting.
A couple people, his shirt like disintegrated.
Disgusting.
Holes instantly formed after he swam in the Flushing Bay. I swear to God.
I don't doubt it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I think I bet him something.
Oh, this was your idea. This was your fault.
I probably told him I would do it too, and then he went first. I don't know. She would probably watch him. He could tell me why he did this.
A lot of things in your friendship, like a lot of Shu's poor decisions, probably started with you being like, "Oh, I'll do it too. You go first."
Well, yeah, our biggest poor decision ever. I don't know if you know about that. We'll talk about it after the show.
Oh,
but he
that's
went
fun.
first, and I was like, yeah. You go first. Yeah.
All right, I'm excited to hear about that one.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. So yeah, Shu swam in the Flushing Bay, which I don't recommend. But
Yeah, don't do that.
I do like that area for tailgating. So
it's nice.
on 9/11, we talked about it last week. We got some stuff happening at the tailgate that's going to be real fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy that.
Yes.
But also, it will be the return of Chef Cass. I texted him
Woohoo.
yesterday. Chef Cass, Carmelo, and Dan are all teaming up. They're going to be doing a whole spread out there.
That's awesome.
So it's going to be fun. We're going to have also another guy. Damn, I should have wrote his name down. Is going to bring his like smoker and some other stuff. So
Cool.
all things I don't eat.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch you guys eat it. And it
have
should,
like a little chopped contest.
it should be fun. Yeah. Anyone wants to, did you follow my Instagram story on Friday night?
Which one?
I went to a place called the Vegan Hooligans
No.
in LA.
Maybe I saw this.
This sandwich.
They had
People-
yes, I did
Oh
see
my
it.
God.
It did not look vegan.
No, of course not, because they make everything now. Like
Yeah.
I listened to Boomer and Gio this morning. Al Dukes and Jerry Recco were filling in for Boomer and Gio, and they always talk about how hard it must be. Like, what do you eat? How do you be a vegan? What do you eat?
Yeah.
Go to the supermarket. There's a whole area where you could buy everything you could think of.
It is
Chicken,
expensive though.
Bacon,
I will
cheese.
say.
It's a little bit more money, but like you're not
You can
eating
do it.
an animal.
Yeah.
So no offense if you want to eat an animal, whatever. I don't anymore. But I went to this place. I looked it up. Remember the bird scooters that they had in? Did you go to Kansas City?
No.
I think they have them in New York City now too. I don't know, but the bird scooter, like the electric scooters,
Okay.
you rent them
Uh-huh.
and you have an app and it scans like a barcode. That's how it turns on.
Okay.
I had credit left over from Kansas City, so I'm like, all right, I'll go to this vegan spot, thinking it's a restaurant. It's in a food court next to a Pizza Hut, and I'm by myself. There's 0 people there, and I'm like, all right, maybe I'll go somewhere else. I'm like, fuck it, I'm already here.
Yeah.
I order this sandwich. I think it's deleted by now because that's how Instagram stories
Yeah.
works. But it was 2 grilled cheese sandwiches
Mhm. I did
stuffed
see
with
this.
mac and cheese in the grilled cheese.
But it wasn't cheese.
No, it's fake. It's
Right.
It's dairy-free cheese. It's
Fake
cheese,
cheese.
but not
Yeah.
milk cheese, cow cheese, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's made of, but whatever. So it's like 2 grilled cheeses with mac and cheese, fake bacon, jalapenos, a hamburger, and then another grilled cheese on the bottom pressed together. They handed me the bag and it felt like 10 pounds. It was
Did it feel
nuts.
like 10 pounds in your stomach?
Yeah, but it was delicious.
I was gonna say, I feel like if it's not even real dairy, like it has to sit a little lighter than the actual version of that sandwich.
No, this thing was like
would've.
it was like
Yeah?
a rock. Yeah, and then I ordered the tater tots on the side, which I thought would be like a small. Like, it was gigantic. It was great.
Listen, you got your money's worth
Oh,
for
absolutely.
a really bizarre little trip.
Yeah, and then I took the bird scooter. There are a lot of homeless people. A lot of
Yeah,
lot of homeless down there, and I'm sure the pandemic hasn't helped much on that
for
front.
sure.
But I saw these ladies trying to fight each other across the street,
Oh.
and then she came into the bar that I was in trying to order a drink. She was bloody. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, wild times.
Yeah, it was nuts.
LA, baby.
But I feel like the bartenders like know her.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll bring you a water out for she's like,
Yeah.
I don't want water. She's like, I'm a customer. I was like, I felt bad for her. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what people are going through. Obviously, to get to that point in your life,
For sure.
something must have happened. But
Yeah.
it was something.
Wild little weekend.
Yeah. Well, 20 hours or something. It was crazy. You know what? I wasn't there long enough for jet lag to set in.
Yeah.
So, but when I did the red eye and then slept for a couple
You
hours.
only slept there one night. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One night and then checked out, and it was crazy. Yeah, whatever.
I'm kind of impressed that you're functioning right now. Just that much time in a plane would make me so sleepy for like an entire day.
But I felt like I was like, I was laying down. It was like not the same thing as when.
Sorry,
like,
I forgot you were bougie.
When you're like cooped up and you're sitting here like, oh, how much longer? You know.
That's true. I'm envisioning flying like a peasant, as the rest of us do. I'm not.
They give you when you show up on your seat. There's like a thing with socks in there, eye covers.
They give you socks,
like a disinfected blanket and a pillow in a bag. That's like, hey, we just cleaned this. It was like a hotel. It's crazy. I had like 4 outlets.
Did you use all of these things?
I plugged everything I had in, even though it didn't need to be charged.
Did you use the socks?
I did not use the socks, but they give you melatonin. They give like other stuff that you could like put on your neck. Like, what do they call
Essential oils?
Oils, all this crazy shit.
What?
Before you land, they give you a bag with there was a cold brew in there, a fresh pressed juice, a bunch of other stuff. It was crazy. But look at this photo.
Oh my God.
I took this picture and the flash went off. And the people sitting behind me were like,
it's his first time.
Yeah. I like pretended I had to use the bathroom. So like I stood up in the aisle for a second. I was like, take a picture. Look at this. This is it reclined.
As everyone, this is going to make great podcast. Holy shit.
That's crazy, right?
It's literally, you can't see.
You can't see it.
It's literally just it's a flat.
Yeah. It's great. I was watching UFC.
I didn't know this like could exist on a plane.
Free Wi-Fi for everyone on the plane though. Free Wi-Fi for everybody.
That's good.
Yeah, not bad. But I can't afford to do that all the time.
Whatever.
So the milk crate challenge. Have you seen that?
Oh my God, yes. It's so funny. People are getting smart now and like they won't do it by themselves. They have teams of people to like spot in case they fall. I don't know how people haven't broken their back doing this. For those of you who don't know, there is one of those new internet challenges.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, like there was like the planking challenge a few years ago and the mannequin challenge. And what you have to do is you get milk crates and you stack them into basically like a pyramid and try to walk across it. And I don't know how people aren't dying. Please watch this.
I guarantee. I don't know. I'm just scrolling. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I don't get it.
That's so sketchy. But like you're willingly doing something that you are going to fail at.
Like it's not. I saw one person complete it, but they were like inside in a gym, which doesn't count. If it's flat level ground, it doesn't count. The authenticity of this challenge needs to be outside on an uneven surface. Oh, like how are people not dying? How is he not paralyzed?
I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't recommend you doing this, but I have no problem watching hundreds of people try on the internet.
This is something like, this is one of those, I wouldn't be surprised if we heard like this is how a Met injured themselves. It just seems like a Mets injury. A Met injures themselves doing like an internet challenge. Maybe not this one, because this one is just blatantly
You know what
reckless.
we got to do? We got to see if oh boy. We got to see if Jay Horowitz wants to come back, because he did the ice bucket challenge. Like, Jay, can you do the
We
milk
would be
crate
arrested
challenge?
for murder if we had Jay Horowitz do this. He would die. Oh my God.
I saw one guy, like, you know how like gym hardos want to, show off how in shape they are.
Yeah.
One guy did it where he walked up
This
eating
is the one I was talking about, and like was doing like
he was eating a cereal or something, oatmeal or whatever,
Doesn't
and then
count.
gets to the middle, they give him weights.
No, it needs to be outside.
I saw one guy do it rolling a blunt though. And that was
that's impressive.
and he always was like, oh shit. He's like rolling, he gets to the top, and then like he stops for a second, like licks it, like gets it ready to go, and then walks down, and then like probably just sparked it up. But like
that's impressive.
That was impressive.
That's impressive.
So what's not impressive, not to make light of things, because we're talking about people getting really hurt here. Did you hear about the death at Citi Field?
Oh my God, I did hear about this.
I don't know the details.
This
I don't
is
want to
insane.
get too into it, but on Friday night, I think there was a concert there.
Grateful Dead.
And then the next day they found someone dead.
He tried to do.
Oh, you do know? You know what happened?
He tried to do a front flip, like a body flip, and he ended up accidentally flipping over the balcony he was on and fell below. It was gruesome.
But wait a minute. How do you know that?
It was reported. It was like I read a.
But then why didn't they know about this right away? Like, why did it take a day to find the guy if people saw him fall?
I don't know. I heard about it pretty much right away. Like it was like pretty soon after the concert, but maybe that was like they didn't report it until they had like spoken with his family. Who knows? I don't know. But that is what happened. He tried to do a flip and he fell off the balcony down below. Awful. Really,
wow.
really.
Yeah, I'm
really
looking at
sad.
this now. It said, man in a tank top told the New York Post, bro, someone took a effing header.
Yeah.
But obviously it was way worse than that.
Yeah.
So, but the way that I saw it was that they didn't know that this had occurred until the next day. But now it makes more sense.
That's not possible. How would they clear out the stadium without seeing a body on the ground?
I don't know. That's wild.
But really fucked up.
So not the reason I bring this up, but what I did see, as I think when I was taking off to go to LA, that the restrictions were put in place at Citi Field about vaccinations to go into the certain seating areas for this concert.
Oh, really? Well,
So,
I think that's up to the band performing.
Oh, okay, because I know the Grateful Dead had put it up, and then the Citi Field account retweeted it. But I think that after seeing what happened in California with their restrictions going back into place, I'm not the Mets. I'm not speaking for them. I don't have any insider information on this. I don't see that not becoming a reality for us very soon.
Yeah, I think especially so if the Mets do make the playoffs and you do have sellout crowds day in and day night, and the Delta variant is a thing. I could totally see it going back.
Yeah, me too.
Backtracking. Yeah.
Let me see if I can't find it now, but whatever. Citi Field retweeted it, or they screenshot what Grateful Dead put up. But I didn't update the caption, or I didn't like even go into the comments and explain what I meant here. But I put something on Facebook the other day that said, if you're going to LA, make sure you know what's going on with the mask mandate. And I wrote like ... Psy.
Yeah.
And ... Psy wasn't meaning like I don't want to do this.
Right.
It meant if Psy was like, oh, we're going
it's just
backwards.
like this is what like the state of our world is.
We're going
this
backwards,
sucks.
and people thought that I meant like, oh, don't wear a mask.
I don't want to wear a mask.
I mean, I did what I was told. I wore mine when I had to, and when you get to the seats, you take it off. But I don't know if you saw the news as you were driving over here in the rain. How everyone that was, again, we're gonna sound like we're on a soapbox here, but a lot of people who didn't want to get the vaccine kept saying, well, it's not approved.
Right.
It's not approved. I'm not taking it. It's not approved. Did you know?
It's getting approved,
it
baby.
Is approved.
It's approved.
It is approved.
Get that vaccine.
So the FDA came out like an hour ago and said Pfizer, which I think is the one I got.
Yeah, that's
is approved.
Yep.
So now it's approved. So now what's the next excuse?
The issue?
But are you gonna have any issue taking the booster?
No.
Not to put you on the spot here.
No, I got the first two. Why the fuck not?
Because I think that now that some people feel like life is normal for them, they're not going to go.
Let me tell you, I got sick this past week for the first time in 2 years because we stopped wearing masks and because people started sharing their germs again. And I said this before, when I get sick, every single time I had to go out in public, whether the place required masks or not, I wore one because I felt after this year, after we've been so careful with not sharing our germs, I felt like such an asshole being around people knowing I'm sick and I have a mask in my bag at all times. Why not just wear one? So I will do, and I was miserable being sick. So I will do whatever I can to not get sick. I was miserable with a little cold. I did go to the doctor. It was not COVID. It was not the flu. So if I was miserable with that small little cold, I can't imagine how miserable COVID would be. So if the doctors are saying this booster is going to help make sure you don't get super sick if you happen to get COVID, I'm going to.
Well, not only that, people are getting COVID even that they have the vaccine.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID. It prevents you from dying of COVID.
Right.
That's the whole point. It lowers your symptoms. It helps your body fight it. So if they're saying this booster will help you fight it better, it'll help you fight the Delta variant, then I'm going to do it because I was miserable this week and I have no intentions of having to do that. So
yeah. So whatever. If you want
fine.
to get it, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Go for it. But yeah, I'm crossing my fingers that we're not going to just get a email sent to all ticket buyers in 2 weeks from now and being
out
like,
of nowhere.
No, 9/11. Then you have to be vaccinated.
Yeah,
like there's
that will cause issues for sure.
Because once they start selling stuff, it's kind of hard. I don't know what the Grateful Dead did.
Yeah, well, the bands make their own policy when the tickets,
Dead and Company, whatever they call
whatever they call themselves. But I think when they sell the tickets, like the band has their own policy. I know the musicians make their own policy of like whatever. A lot of people were saying this is a fully vaccinated event, blah blah. So I think that's up to whoever. It would be up to the Mets, probably not Citi Field. It would be up to whoever is selling the event that's taking place at the stadium, I think.
So speaking of the stadium, do you if you had to answer this question right now, do you think we will see Jacob deGrom pitch at Citi Field again this year?
No,
because they came out like last week, we're probably going to shut him down for the year. Now a couple of days ago they're saying we do want to see him come back for this season, at least to see what he's got.
No, I think their entire mentality with deGrom and this season, and I think this was kind of said earlier in this week, a report came out, was like at the trade deadline, They didn't make as many moves as they might have, like of Chris Bryant, because they didn't know if DeGrom would be back. And basically, if DeGrom's not back, we don't have a shot. So why go for it? And I think that's where they're at. If we hear definitively that DeGrom is shut down for the season, that is the front office being like, they're not making the playoffs. It's not worth it.
Well, Syndergaard said he's willing to come out of the bullpen.
Yeah,
so
well, because that's basically what they said. They're like, that's what we're having him do.
Right,
so
right.
he really had no choice. But DeGrom, and again, this is me being the pessimist, not thinking they're going to make the playoffs. I don't see him pitching again because I do not think they will take the chance. They will force him back for no reason, which it would be for no reason if they're not going to make the playoffs. So if we see him back, I think it's because the Mets strongly believe there's a chance.
Well, there is still. There is a
From your lips to God's ears.
5.3% chance.
All right.
Julia.
That's fine. I like the number 5.
So
speaking of which.
Oh shit. Yeah, we kind of glanced over this.
I've been waiting all day for you to get to this and just tell me all about
what's up
it.
to David Wright the other day. It's pretty cool to be on first name basis with David Wright. He is with you too. I said, hey, Julia says what's up. He goes, oh, tell her I said hi. Oh. Isn't that cool?
My heart. I love him. He's the best.
So I kind of did go into a little bit of a stalker mode because
it was a tag team because I was like, hey, David's at the game.
Because I'm not watching SNY, obviously,
right,
so I didn't know what was going on. But the internet was abuzz about David being at the ballpark with his fam.
They were getting the best shots of him and his kids. If you haven't seen,
I was shocked he wasn't in more of like a bougie spot.
Well, he's not a bougie guy. He's just a
but
guy.
Still,
and he could be if he wanted to be.
It may have been like the family seats. I don't know. I don't know who he was around, but it seemed like everyone.
He
in
had
the first
like a big
5 rows.
group. He was with a lot of family.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But if you go to SMY's Instagram, they have the cutest video of him and his son, future Mets third baseman Brooke.
Imagine.
I'd lose my mind. It'd be amazing.
That would be sick.
But also totally fitting that his first game was a miserable Mets loss.
So we're texting, and I'm like, "Hey, well, where are these seats?" Because I was very confused where he was. I was expecting like right behind the plate.
Yeah.
And then I looked over the railing, and I sent you a photo. I'm like, "Whoa, he's actually right there."
Oh, he was like down below you guys.
Like, yeah, I mean, we were upper deck, but like exactly our same view, but lower down. I was like, "I'll go down and say what's up," and not to be like I felt like a dick afterwards because once I went up in between innings. Obviously, I'm not going to bother him during the inning. I sat down. There was no ushers at all.
Yeah, well, that's my friend Kristen went to see him too, and she was the same thing. She's like, I wouldn't have went up to him, but I was literally wearing my like David Wright retirement shirt. I was like, it's fate, I have to. And she's like, but I didn't want to blow up his spot. So like my whole family wanted to go up, and we're like, no, like just like me and my mom, we didn't want to cause a scene. Whenever you were just one person, I'm sure it was fine. But okay, can you show the proper version of that photo,
I will.
please?
So if you're watching live, you haven't seen this yet, that's me and D right there. So I went up and said what's up, and then we chat for like a second. He introduced me to his wife, and I didn't want to take up too much of their time. So, great seeing you, whatever, small talk. Of course, he said, say hello to Julia. Of course. As I walked up the steps, other fans were then like, can I take a photo? And I turned to him like, dude, sorry, man. Like, I totally open up this
portal.
But I'm sure it was like just a second in between the innings. He probably sat back down.
He's very good about, he knows when he's at a ballpark to expect this. But I've also, he's good about like, if David Wright says, sorry guys, I'm with my family, no one's gonna like keep bothering him. I feel like people will respect that. If he is taking the time to take pictures, it's because he's okay with taking pictures.
And I thought that your reply was excellent. So if you guys haven't seen, Julia actually was there. How did you do this? Do you do Photoshop?
No, I did this on Snapchat.
How?
You literally can like cut around a picture and it becomes like a sticker. And then you can upload another picture and put the sticker in. So
that's insane.
Cut out my face. And
I was thinking that. I'm like, does Julia know Photoshop?
No,
like,
not
how did this happen so fast?
I use Snapchat. Literally, Darren sent me this photo. I did not say anything. 30 seconds later, I just sent him this one back.
Yeah, that was great.
It's like great time.
So yeah, I mean, it was cool to catch up even for a second with DW. And you were saying that we have to make it a tradition. He's not going to say
no.
Yes to this.
I know this was me being an asshole, but we should.
The last
guest of every season of this show, because our last season, our last show of the season, we had David Wright on. So I said make it a tradition.
Well, let's make something else a tradition, and that is retiring ball players' numbers who deserve to be retired. So let's get to this kind of quick. Henrik Lundqvist, who we know was a Ranger, and ended up going on to Washington.
I don't think he ever played a game though, because he had
end his career. Then he got hurt.
Issues.
Yeah, so
he had like a heart condition.
Announced his retirement, and not even like a minute later,
Yeah.
the Rangers like, well, we're gonna retire your number.
Literally within 5 minutes of his posting his retirement, the official Rangers account was like, this man was monumental to our organization, blah blah, and obviously we will be retiring his number later this season. Why was it so hard for the Mets to do that for David Wright? I'm not really sure.
Well, they still haven't done it.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't even, and I don't get it. Like and this is what I really thought, because I'm pretty sure it was the season after David retired was when they announced that the following season they would be retiring Koosman's number. In my mind, what that's telling me is, okay, we have to retire every other number that we just bullshitted around and didn't retire so we can get to David. Because if we retire David, then people could be like, well, what about Koosman? What about Keith Hernandez? What about Gary Carter? And so on and so forth. So I think they're making their way through. Having said that, I don't see David's number getting retired for years, because I think they're going to do like one a year, which it's just so dumb. Just do it. Do it. I'm so annoyed.
Imagine something like comes up where it's like,
no, life is fucking short.
No. What
like,
I'm saying to you, I'm going to give you a hypothetical here.
Oh my God.
Like, obviously we know Katie's getting married sooner. Oh my God, maybe it's next summer.
I know.
They're
in Chicago. They're in Chicago the day of Katie's wedding. It is not going to be on Katie's wedding.
What if something happens that you have this day that you cannot miss? Is your brother married already?
He's getting married October 8th, 2022.
Okay, so that's not going to happen. So something happens that you have to be at this event, but then David Wright is going to have his number retired. What do you do?
It depends how much I really have to be at the event.
You're a bridesmaid. Like you're selected to be in someone's wedding,
then
but
I have to go to the wedding. I'm not going to be happy about it, but I'm going to have to be at the wedding.
Some fan you are.
Don't even do this to me. Don't start.
You're probably having such anxiety right now that that's going to happen. Something is going to happen where
you don't understand. When he was at the end of his career, and I knew, I'm like, there's no way he's just going to be like, I'm calling it quits, I'm never going to play again. I knew he was going to play one more game. When I tell you, when he had that press conference and I knew a day was coming, I had 2 computers and my phone opened, or it was tick pick every single game the rest of the season with tickets on the third base line. And I'm like, just waiting him for date. I'm like, I have to be there and I have to be in that seat, because I always wanted to do that. I never got to.
And you did get to go to a couple games, because he did play the last game, but he did play a couple before that too.
He played one. He pinch hit and won the game the night before, and I did go to that too.
Yep.
Last minute, they announced he would pinch hit, got tickets behind the dugout. I was like, I'm going. So yes, I will do. There is one person at this point in my life, there is only one baseball player I will get like that for. It is David Wright. And the only time I'm assuming left to do something chaotic like that is a jersey retirement ceremony.
We'll see.
Mets Hall of Fame.
It's going to happen eventually. So yeah. I don't want this to happen to you, but I will think it's very funny if you have to make a decision between two things. I'm sorry.
That's fucked up. I'll remember that.
So if you did go out to LA this past weekend and you want to do something with your t-shirt rather than keep wearing it, you can turn it into a t-shirt quilt. And we teamed up with the fine folks over at Project Repat, and they give away one of their t-shirt quilts. They give one away each month for free. All you have to do is go to the Instagram account, Project Repat USA, simply like it, and make sure you're wearing something Mets related, orange and blue related, baseball related in your profile photo, and they will scroll through their followers and select one person a month to win. If you don't happen to win, just go to projectrepat.com to get involved and pick your own up. But if you're watching live, you can see some of the examples here of their happy customers. They take your t-shirts, your jerseys, your polo shirts, whatever garment is your favorite, simply cut it up into squares. You don't have to do that. They'll do it for you. They sew it together and turn it into a quilt and mail it back to you. It's a great idea. They have over 500,000 happy customers, and they are all handmade in North Carolina and Texas. We love them. It's a great idea, and I'm very jealous I didn't think of it first. So go to Project Repat USA on Instagram to get involved. Simply like their account, and that's how you'll be in the running. Also, to be in the running to win the free stuff this week, just simply share the show. We will get to the winners right now from last week, which were
familiar names.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I only know one of them.
Well, the last name. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, it is done at random, so it is a coincidence. I didn't know
Yeah.
I guess the second person here. But last week's winners for the Alonso bobblehead or the comic book, you get to decide. You let us know. We'll mail it out to you. On Twitter, it is Elvis Cage, who we know. Congrats to you. That is not rigged. Congrats to you. And on Facebook, Richard La Lima.
I don't know if I know that's Gianna's last name.
Oh,
though.
really?
So I don't know if this person is related to Gianna. It could be a totally random person.
Maybe a cousin.
Yeah. Well, Gianna,
brother,
I think, was
dad,
watching. Let us know if you know a Richard by blood, because he just won a Pete Alonso bobblehead and/or comic book.
Awesome. So congrats to Elvis and Richard. If you are watching live, let us know. So this weekend, tailgating. I understand you're not as fired up on the team as you usually are.
No,
but
I'm always fired up to drink at a ballpark. So
of course. So come on down if you're sitting with us, even if you're not sitting with us, and you want to just.
It's her dad.
It is her dad. Awesome.
Love
Congrats
that.
to Gianna's dad.
Awesome.
I don't know if what he wants, but we'll reach out to him. But if you guys want to come and hang out this weekend, we will be in the Marina lot a few hours before the game. Obviously, we're not going to want to miss the ceremony, so we are going to head in around 6 o'clock.
Yes.
More the merrier. Come on down, celebrate responsibly, bring some Coors Lights, and enjoy yourself, because that's what life should be about.
That is true.
So on this rainy day, hopefully we can look forward to the Mets that have a 5.3% chance of making the playoffs. And remember that there is always a chance.
Here's to aiming for 5.4.
Well, I bet you by next week that number will go up. How about that?
Would we like to place a bet on this?
Sure.
Should we make it interesting?
$10.
$10.
$10 bet.
$10 that the playoff percentage chance is higher than 5.3 by this show next week.
There we go. And I'm very happy to have my soundboard back. So I think we covered everything here. Don't walk on milk crates. And
retire David Wright's number.
Retire David Wright's number. Let's go Yankees.
Don't do it on a day I have a wedding.
Against the Braves. And that's it.
That's about it.
All right, cool. See you guys next week. Shout out to Lindor. I think he should be back tomorrow night.
Woo.
I don't know why he's not getting any rehab starts. I heard that was like up to him to decide, which is kind of backwards.
Whatever.
But all right,
it's fine.
Met show. See you guys next week.
Put it in the box. Put it in the box.
This is absurd. I'm sorry. It's not a laughing matter.